Okay, so I guess everybody who came in today would have known that what the topic I'm going to share today, the final three session, the first of the final three, is about hutang. Now, about hutang, there is a master of right now joining us. It was not arranged, but he came and he even asked to even share with inside his Facebook and tell people to join about solving problems about hutang. I would like to introduce Mr. Leo or Mr. Good there, right there. Maybe Mr. Leo can wave. Yeah, so he is the master of helping others with hutang. So people, please connect with him. He knows what he's doing. He definitely knows. He's a veteran in the industry, and many people have been helped in there of all that he has done for many years. Very complicated matter, very weird matter, very tak masuk akal punya stuff pun ada. But you need people with a lot of experience like Mr. Leo. So it was not arranged. Okay, he didn't ask me to introduce himself. We went a long way. Ada 7 tahun ada. 7 tahun. Yeah, 6-7 years. Go a long way together. Yeah, so he joined my class whereby at that time baru nak start, baru nak try kan. Then he supported, very supportive and all this. So now about hutang, my end today I have a partner by the name of Ashari. Ashari, please wave your hand. Ashari. Okay, Ashari is a fresh graduate. Last year he joined me. I came to his school, university, to talk, to give a talk on investments, on insurance, on estate planning, and all that. I think about 2 times I gave a talk to my team back then, and he happens to be those participants who religiously follow those classes that time. So what happened was 2 years later, I didn't expect him to come and interview to join our team. Now this guy is very dedicated. He's a fresh grad. And we are running as a business. You don't get gaji, so you have to earn your way into this. So one of the things that you have to do is to look for customers, to look for clients, to look for people to join our classes, and then follow up with them with one-to-one. Let me spotlight here. Here is my whiteboard and flip chart. For you guys, any one of you would like to go further, maybe to even communicate with Ashari to go further about today's topic or the previous topics or all whatever, anything to do with the Islamic finance topics, 84829563, right there, the number, the hotline, and then request for a date on time for one-to-one. Or you can also send your question into that number. Now, this session happened 84829563. This happens. Let me see. I'm going to put in the chat hotline. Hotline 84829563. This one is whether you want to do a one-to-one or you want to ask a question. Now, some questions are rather personal. If any of you don't have any personal kind of questions, you're more than welcome to just throw your questions at the chat. At the chat, you're more than welcome to do that. What I can share is if you feel that it's going to be very personal, it's going to be a very personal questions. So my suggestion is do not send there lah. Nanti semua orang nampak kan. So you put into the 84829563 punya WhatsApp. Send it there. Send it there. Your questions. Now, our session today is going to be slightly longer than usual. It could be about 1.5 hours plus minus. Usually it's about 1 hour. 1 hour to 1 hour 15. Today, I would like to take the opportunity. It might be the last. I can't even guarantee I leave tomorrow. I think none of us can guarantee, right? So a bit different how we're going to do from here on. You can use your reaction button if you can see me on the bottom of your screen at the almost to the right. You can see that I just did a clap, or you can also see that I did a good thumbs up. Kan nampak kan? Now, can everybody try that so I know that you're all listening? Great, thank you very much. Now, if you are not doing that, I would strongly suggest unmute and respond. Even better. Okay? If you unmute and respond, even so much better. It can be a little bit noisy, but doesn't matter. Let's have some mood. Raya dah nak dekat, cerita pasal hutang. Ha. Okay. So let me begin. I'm going to share. Not me. Okay. I'm going to send this over to Mr. Ash'ari there, who is going to share one ayat, and that ayat happens to be the longest ayat in Al-Quran. The longest ayat in Al-Quran happens to be talking about hutang. And the ayat is, Ash'ari, all yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya wal mursalin Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. So thank you Zaid for that introduction. Before I get into the ayat itself, let me just preface this by saying kita semua tahu hutang is like you borrow and you loan or you lend others. It's always a two-way thing. But in the Quran, Allah has set out an SOP, a guidebook, if you would, about how we should behave kalau kita memberi atau kita mengambil hutang. So that is the longest ayat in the Quran, Al-Baqarah surah ayat 282, which says that, "O you who believe, when you contract a debt for a specified term, write it down, record it, and let a scribe write it between you in justice. Let no scribe refuse to write it as Allah has taught him. Let him write, and let the one who has the obligation to dictate." So orang yang mengambil hutang tu to dictate how long he needs to pay off the debt. Let him fear Allah, his Lord, and not leave anything out of it. But if the one who has obligation is of limited understanding or weak or unable to dictate himself, then let his guardian dictate in justice. So that's the third one. If the person who wants to borrow is not strong in mind, then let the guardian dictate, or if he's not of age, let's say. And if they are not, bring to witness two witnesses from among your men. So there's a fourth one. To have witness, saksi of the hutang. And so on and so forth. The rest of the ayat is basically just an explanation of these four, guide that Allah has set out. So the first one is to record. The second one, for those who take the hutang, for them to dictate how long they can pay off that hutang. The third one, if the person who take the hutang is not able to, then a guardian or a guarantor. That is in like current terms right now, possibly a guarantor. And the fourth one is of course witnesses. So now that we kind of understand how an hutang is supposed to be recorded, then let us now talk about the dangers of hutang, the dangers of taking a loan. Of course, in Islam, hutang or debt is not haram. It is perfectly permissible. Rasulullah has taken an hutang. A lot of the Sahabas have ever taken an hutang before, a debt. So debt is not haram. It is in fact very halal. It is a form of transaction. But the danger of debt is so strong that if during the zaman of Sahaba, there was a Sahaba who passed away with hutang yang belum dilunaskan. Rasulullah abstained from praying the funeral prayer for him. Rasulullah didn't want to pray until another Sahaba came in and said, okay, his hutang I will settle for him, and then Rasulullah came in to pray the prayer. So that's one. That's the danger of having hutang. The second one, it is reported by, let me see, Sahih Muslim, where it states that Allah forgives all of the sins of a martyr, of a shaheed, except for unpaid debt. Because a few of the ulama has explained this and explained that all of our sins to Allah is His right whether to forgive or not. Whereas our debt to another mankind is His right to claim from us. And hence, not that Allah doesn't have a say, but Allah wants to do justice to the one who memberi hutang. So that's the second one. And then in another hadith reported by An-Nasa'i with the Darajat Hasan, it is reported that if a man were to be killed in the way of Allah and he lived again, and to be killed in the way of Allah and lived again, and to be killed in the way of Allah for 3 times, he will not enter paradise until his debt is paid off. You can be killed 3 times in the way of Allah, fi sabilillah, to protect your religion, to uphold your religion, but if you have unpaid debt, you will not enter paradise. And this is a very stern warning from Allah that yes, debt is halal and it is permissible, but do not ambil ringan. Do not take it easy. Make sure you have your responsibility to pay it off. Talking about responsibility, there is an ayat in again Surah Al-Baqarah. It's just the verse after 282, the verse 283, which says that, and this is the literal translation, that if one of you were to entrust another, let him who is entrusted discharge his trust. So basically what this ayat means is, if a person who trusts, if A trusts B enough to lend him money, then B should be trustworthy to pay back A. And the word that is used in the Quran is amanah. So having a debt, taking a debt is an amanah that for you to have to pay off. And we all know that word amanah in Islam carries very heavy weightage. And amanah is a responsibility that you have to discharge. And if you don't discharge, you will be asked on the day of judgment. And it is a very heavy topic. I would like to apologize so far that I am using this tone, but we need to understand that the topic at hand is very heavy and we really need to discuss it in very deep seriousness. So that's the dalil part and the nas and the ayat Quran and all that. Let's move on to maybe slightly a bit more lighthearted. So when you have debt, you have 2 forms of debt generally. You have debt to Allah and you have debt to humans. Very common. We all hear it all the time. So debt to Allah is your Hajj, your Zakat, and your Fidyah. Of course, your Hajj, if you have performed your Hajj, the Haji, not the Umrah, the Hajj, then you don't have that debt anymore. Zakat is yearly. So every year that you live is every year that you have to pay Zakat. And if you pass away without paying off that Zakat, then it becomes a debt to Allah. And the third one is Fidyah. For Fidyah, just to give a bit of an explanation, it's missed fasting. But even these, certain ulama have different tafsir or different pendapat, different opinions, such that sometimes you might need to pay, sometimes you pay more, sometimes you don't need to pay. Again, that's not the topic at hand today, but I just thought it would be nice to just round it up. So let's talk about the debt to human part where we are more interested in today. So for a debt to human, I can generally classify into roughly 3. So you have firstly a big ticket debt. So a debt which is huge. You buy a car, you buy a house, you have a student loan. It's something where the term is very long. You take years to pay it off. So you have a big ticket item, a big ticket debt. So the second one is a small ticket item. So vice versa, you have big, you have small. So generally like car insurance sometimes you purchase for 1 year, but the insurance company allow you to pay off monthly. But generally you're supposed to pay for the whole year. So it's a kind of debt. Secondly, credit card, very obvious. Thirdly, I've heard this in the past couple of months. It sounds very ridiculous, but furniture. You can buy furniture from IKEA, from Courts. Last I heard, they allow you up to what, 60 months to pay off a piece of couch, which is to me just ridiculous, but it's a form of small ticket debt. And the third one is debt of a personal nature, where it's debt between us and doesn't involve any organizations. It's just between individuals. Maybe I need money, I pinjam daripada Zaid, and Zaid very nice, you know, he liked me, then he lend me the money. Yeah. So it's very personal. There's no, it's not written down in a contract kind. So the first two, the big ticket item and the small ticket item, if you follow the guidebook set out by Surah Al-Baqarah, ayat 282, they already have the term, they already have the record. Sometimes, most of the times, they have like a guarantor, if especially if your credit is not that good, and the witness is of course the organization itself. But for the third category, where it's a personal kind of loan, then this guidebook, SOP, this ayat itself, we need to implement it. If I borrow from Zaid, let's say $5,000 for something, you know, who is there to make sure I discharge my amanah to Zaid? Because he's not an I didn't borrow from him because he is an organization. So that one, we have to ensure that we do the necessary steps, the 1 to 4, to make sure that we make it we make the debt as Islamic as possible. That will be all for my sharing so far. Back to you, Zaid.
Okay, thank you very much, Ashari. I will get back to you later. Now, the thing is, whatever that he has shared has a lot to do with what we're going to share today. So I just want a quick shout out. I'm going to unmute everyone, just say it. Somehow, whatever, I'm going to write a little bit, whatever that you think it is, okay? I'm going to unmute everyone, just shout out, and then I'm going to put it right here in the screen, okay? Right here in the screen. Okay, so just let me know what has all this got to do with, what has all this got to do with the new norm? Okay, there's a greeting. Somebody's have two mic. Okay, good. What has that got to do with the new norm? Just say it out, and then I will type it out at the chat. Okay, just say it out. You want to chat it? You can put in the chat. You can just say it out. What has all this got to do with the new norm? This ayat Al-Quran came down more than 1,400 years ago. But what has that got to do with the new norm? Come, anyone? Feel free to type here kalau segan at the chat.
Zaid.
Yes.
Okay, before this, just because I missed all your session the last time, can I just understand a bit about what you mean by the new norm?
Okay, the new norm, things have changed. That means we are all stuck at home. We can't see people. All business, all have to, some business are disrupted. Some businesses, some people who actually were okay, then suddenly they cannot meet because they cannot meet. A lot of things have to do this and that. Some people lost jobs, some business closed. So I even then people have to adjust a lot of things. Have to work from home. Some the essentials start to appear suddenly even more important. The way we spend are different. The way we think of investments now are different. So now we talk about the hutang part. So the new norm, as mentioned right now by many people out there, they have their own theory. I leave it open to anybody to translate it, to put it into their own perspective. Is how are we going to live now? Because already I spoke, 9 out of 10 people who have businesses, who rent office and spaces, are saying to me, why are they renting spaces? Because this whole month is actually teaching them, I can save a lot by not renting spaces. But then when I tell them, bro, is the only reason you are thinking like that is because everybody you're talking to are forced into the situation. So now when they are forced into the situation, of course you can tell them, don't have to come and see me here at don't have to see me here at my office. We can just do it soon. Of course you can do that. But there are different people, there are different things, but we want to see the new norm whereby some people will adjust fully like this. Nikah aja dah pergi online. Kan? So, so in the new norm, whatever there is, currently the COVID-19 as the big reset button. With the COVID-19, we are making it as a big reset button to not just Singapore, it's global. It's a global thing. Okay? So what has all this got to do with the new norm? Good question, Mr. Abang Leo. Thank you very much. Afiq said we are in a time of the highest debt, both on an individual and corporate and national level. Okay, thank you. Anyone else, please? Apalah yang Asyari pernah berbual 15 minit, takkanlah tak ada kena-mengena dengan the topic for the day, which is the new norm, kan? Okay, anyone please? Zulfadli ke, Suzy ke, Rizwan ke, Wan Rahmat ke, Ashraf ke, Zuhairi ke, Latif ke? Anyone? Make a guess, make a wild guess, make a thought process whereby what has hutang got to do with the new norm? Abang Leo, want to say something? Yes.
Yeah. Most important right now with the situation people are in, okay, the new norms, hutang is the main thing, okay, the main thing that's going to affect everybody's lives, okay, because why? This hutang has been a culture in our life, okay. So when there's been a culture in our life, if they do not understand and they do not have the right so-called understanding about hutang, okay, so it's going to be very, very dangerous. Okay, we can see right now how people behave when they are in the new norms. Okay, in the new norms, people are stressed. Okay, and we don't deny before these new norms, hutang has been the main key problem for everybody. Okay, and I want to share one thing. Hutang is all about emotion. Okay, this is based on my experience. So just to get you guys to understand, just imagine that now everybody is staying at home. Okay, all emotions are affected. Okay, and with that, if this thing called hutang is not addressed carefully, especially for the Muslim community, okay, is going to be very, very so-called, the impact can be very, very strong. Okay, and it's very good start sharing by Ashari. Okay, it's very good sharing. Okay. So
thank you, Brother Leo. Thank you very much. So I share, thank you. What he just said is about hutang is all about emotion. And I think what I can relate to what he said is that when we got lockdown in this circuit breaker period right now here in our own homes, we are also emotionally disturbed and affected. Correct? Right, we cannot, alamak, bila saya nak keluar, takkan tengok rumah sampai hari-hari tengok rumah, alamak, dah tu dengan anak-anak dengan bising, memekak, kacau sana, terpekik sini. Kalau diri tak ada anak, anak orang sebelah. Kan? So, it's like, and you want to go out, you have to wear mask, you want to do this, tersalah, lupa nak pakai mask, kena, baru dapat 600, dah kena kasih balik 300, ya. So, things are very different. Dulu kalau nak salam is how kita menunjukkan, how do we show silaturahmi, apa khabar kan. Sekarang dia gini tau. Yeah. So it's very different. So that's the new norm. Now, I also like to put here, Latif is saying that borrowing becomes second nature. Okay. It becomes a second nature. Interesting. Wan Rahmat say many people now lose their income jobs, so they will tend to hutang. Correct. One of the main reasons why the government is giving out money is so that to tell people don't hutang. Use this, jaga-jaga carefully. That's why we have this budgeting in time of crisis. I know of people, they are in trouble. They used to be what they call riding Grab. And he cannot do Grab any longer than during the daytime, because night time he have to do, he can only do a few hours, because that time he have to do dialysis. Okay, so this Grab during the TB period, regardless daytime or nighttime, you will be affected because all the offices are closed, a lot of shops are closed, shopping centers have been closed. So those people who are hardworking enough survives. Usually the taxi driver, these are the time the taxi drivers say, yo, we are back, man. Because they can go into the queue, they can be street hail. So the Grab drivers are a lot affected, especially this particular person that I know of who got diabetes, who have to stop driving, go go to the dialysis. And then after that, when he go back, he have to rest first. Dialysis pun berjam, you know, the kind of thing. So when he go back, he will never get customers. Those who are working hard enough, because Grab, for example, they have this rating system. How long, how many hours you are on the street, how many stars you get priority. So his rating go very low and he start to lose his job. Now he start to hantar daging, hantar sayur from Geylang Serai. So it's a new norm. People have to change. He used to earn quite well. And he said Grab was his lifesaver. Now, how? Kan? So, he shared with me, he got his friends, right? He got his friends, whereby he also ride Grab or drive Grab and all these things. Said that duit dapat 400, 300, 400, 500, 600 pun dapat lah. Government kasih government. Diorang pun problem. Ada lagi teruk. Not just diabetes. Ada macam-macam. Nak kena check ni lah, nak kena pergi tu lah, mak sakit kuat lah. Ada je. Diorang lagi macam-macam. So they used to live a good life then, before this. Just work accordingly, plan strategically, drive Grab, drive Gojek, used to be like that. Sampai this was hitting them hard, they all have to do very weird stuff. They have to get, still have to, ada dah bayar kasih balik kereta, ada have to do all these things. So, but when these things happen, guys, I don't know why this happens, and I want to state out this message. Dapat 400, 500, 300, 600, satu orang dah mula seokok dah nak gaduh. Dah kena kasih balik 300. Lagi seorang, one of them already, how to say, they got this, and then dia kata kawan dia sana sini dalam kereta pun cakap ada buat Zoom lah, buat ni, dia pun nak try. Dapat 600 je beli laptop murah. Habis duit semua. So you see, many people didn't realize, it's like, I want to share this. Everybody, if you can repeat after me, just unmute, please repeat after me this. Ready, Please repeat after me loud and clear. Easy come, easy go. What is it, please?
Easy come, easy go.
Ladies and gentlemen, hutang easy, senang datang. Okay? Hutang ni senang nak datang. Lepas duit tu dah datang, dia go pun senang juga. Lepas tu dia nak bayar kasih balik tu, ya Allah, dahsyat. And hutang can be a habit. In one of my session, this is one of the reason why I mentioned about habit in one of my past session, which is quite recent also. I was talking about habit. Good habit good habit tough to take, tough to attract, tough to practice, tough to be a habit. Good habit, easy to let go. Very bad habit or bad habit, very easy to grasp, very easy to take, very easy to practice, very easy to become a habit, but very tough to let go. Now, because it is easy to take, hutang happen to be one of it. And hutang happen to be one of the bad habit when you suka berhutang. Because I met not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 10, not 20, not so many. Suka berhutang. It is become a habit. Dia dah pinjam, dia dah kesedapan nak pinjam. And kita boleh tahu kalau orang tu susah, if the person is in tough condition, if they are out there in the streets, and they ask for money, you know they are not yang suka berhutang. Bang, ada $1 bang, boleh? I need $1. They have $1. They will use those words. They are in tough time. Orang berhutang, listen carefully and you hear, bang boleh pinjam. Engkau dah lah aku tak kenal, jumpa kat tempat tepi bus stop. Kau nak pinjam bila kau nak bayar balik? You know what's my answer? I will answer like this. Bukan tak nak tolong dia, cakap kalau aku kasih pun aku kasih sedekah. Tapi kau cakap pinjam. Sekarang kita kena ikut surah Al-Baqarah ayat 282. Lepas tu dia hilang semua hidup dari kita punya kehidupan kita. Dia terus dia wah. Mudah-mudahan by that message it helps people. Now another thing that I want to mention to everybody here, we are in the new norm. There is one thing that I want to write here big. When we are in the new norm, physical retail has gone missing. Retail shops, non-essential, not available. So all those retail shops has somewhat more or less go online. Ladies and gentlemen, sahabat-sahabat saudara mara sama Islam yang hari ini datang, benda ni pun boleh jadi habit. And the habit happens to come from, it is so easy, it easy come, duit yang you dapat, you kasih ni, dia macam sedap tau. So it is easy to grasp. It can become, and for you to do online retail, as in you purchase, if you want to buy, what do you use? Ladies and gentlemen, please shout out inside the screen, please. Tak dengar, muted. Semua orang boleh cakap, please.
Plastic card.
Credit card, plastic card. Apa card lagi? Ada. Macam-macam kad. Dia nak kena apa kad tau kadang-kadang. Okay, credit card. This credit card.
Membership card je tak boleh.
Membership card je tak boleh. Dia macam mana nak pakai membership card EasyLink card pun boleh tau buat online. Interesting. So my point is this credit card ni, ni binatang bahaya ni, I want to tell you guys, everybody. Ni binatang ni. Ni damn it, ni besar punya setan. Setan dah kena lock, setan ni besar dah keluar, pergi kat online semua. So if I already mentioned in my past sessions, I also did stress upon ladies and gentlemen, apply for debit card. Boleh apply online lah, senang. Debit card je. Kalau boleh sekarang juga angkat tukar potong. Because you don't know. Kalau kat luar you pergi shopping, you have to take your card and swipe. Dia ada physical action. You have to sign. Paling worst come to worst pun ada wave. Ada wave. That's the worst. The least session. Do you know that your purchase here online, the new norm is you just this is the effort paling banyak ni. Nampak je tak? Ini effort paling banyak. Dia punya effort dia kan. Bawah matahari pun tak berpeluh. Ni. Ni. Kat bawah matahari terik pun tak berpeluh. Tung, hilang. Dah dapat dah. Dah order dah. Malam tengah baring. Tong. Dan cukup time orang datang rumah. Deliver lagi. Ada kasih lagi barang-barang tu semua. For all you care, ladies and gentlemen, tuan-tuan, sahabat-sahabat semua yang ada kat dalam hari ni punya session, cakap dengan kawan-kawan yang bantai pakai credit card beli online, tunggu nanti dia punya credit card punya bil datang bulan raya. Tengok ada mood tak raya nanti. Cakap macam real, nak dengar semua online, semua dengar Facebook, semua cakap dengan orang sedia masjid tak buka. Orang yang sama pun cakap sedia tak dapat kunjung-mengunjung. Sekarang kunjung-mengunjung punya energi lagi banyak daripada kenapa masjid tak buka. Memang pedas. Tapi orang-orang yang sama juga main bantai beli online ni barang, sedap. Because it's so easy habit to acquire. I want to see how hard is it to let go. Siapa yang boleh let go? Sebab kali ni, kad tu potong pun boleh pakai. Pergilah masuk Blender tu kad. You don't need the card. You need the numbers. That's all. And if the numbers when you do online purchase, you boleh save the card. Tengok aja nanti. And it's so tempted. Takkanlah sampai to a point you nak pergi buang sampai dia buang dia punya app sekali kan? That's why I said get a debit card, replace the credit card. Kalau boleh bukan potong lagi. Erase from your phone punya data, erase from whatever app you put inside the credit card. Do it now kalau boleh. You don't know. Tell your friends. Tell your sahabat anda, tell your good neighbors. Ada kad, potong. Now the card setan sebelum dia kena rantai, dia dah plan dah. Ni online ni, thank you lah virus. Best. You can ask Brother Liu, ask him for a new session. He will share with you how many people get in trouble out of card punya loan. I know of people who jump down because of card punya heavy debt. I know people who bercerai. Baru kahwin 3 bulan. 3 bulan kemudian isteri nampak credit card bill. Terus bergaduh lagi 3 bulan sampai bercerai. I know of people, laki bini. Lepas kahwin, buat combine card. Lagi teruk. Sama-sama jumpa Maliu. Stres sendiri. Okay? So, my everybody here to share with everybody out there. Okay? It's so important to know how subtle things can be so dangerous coming. Let me share with you what are dangerous. What do I mean by being dangerous? Other than what's going to happen to your own life. Lagi-lagi sekarang nak cakap macam mana lagi? Nak pergi mengarut ke apa? You're at home. The only way out is through the window. Betul tak? Unless you want to pay your saman 300, 600 berapa banyak pakai credit card mungkin lagi tu bagus. Bayar saman pakai kad padam kau. Mungkin I should suggest to government to ask the only way to pay for the saman is card. Biar diorang rasa sedap tu memang best. Okay, maybe PayWave je dah boleh bayar. Okay, so let me share with you. Just to repeat what Ashari was saying. The unsettled hutang, Rasulullah SAW, he was mentioning here, do not even want to pray for him. Tak nak solatkan. Jenazah tu sampai tak nak solatkan, sampai bila dah settle baru Rasulullah SAW solatkan. You see, Rasulullah SAW sometimes do not need to even share a hadith, sometimes do not need to even verbalize it, just by the action is scary. This is one of the classic example of Nabi kita just by action. Orang ni meninggal, solat jenazah. Nabi tengok je. And then found out, alamak banyak hutang kasih settle lah, cepat-cepat kasih settle. Okay lah. So obvious, isn't it? The one similar hadith like this is not about hutang but about ibu. Di mana ibu dia cakap tengah kecil hati dengan dia. Habis lepas tu dia dah nak something like that nak meninggal ke, nak kena masuk ke api ke, something like that. Maybe Ashari can share next time. Very interesting. Baru Nabi datang, baru help something like that. Nabi kalau ibu dah maafkan baru dapat. So another that I want to say is this one. I personally mentioned this before to some of my participants in my class. I said this. It was a discussion. It was a common discussion. Berbual-bual, gedebak-gedebuk. Sekali happen to know that this particular guy who was from Australia came down to Singapore and then joined my class and then said that in Australia, there is this very big drive about getting people to go Syria, pergi jihad. So, and then he said some of them are already in Singapore. One of them, dah punya 1-2 geng dia dah kena tangkap pun. So, and this guy said, I almost get in, but I want to see if I can join classes, change my mindset. I don't know what's happening. So I tell him, okay, I said, I know why you are here to learn about money and everything, and you will be paid well, because it's not you who get paid, your family will get paid. That's what they are very concerned about, for you to join whatever this terrorist thing. But let me ask you one thing. Dah lah you tak dapat gaji, you nak pergi sana untuk bom diri. Lepas tu your family dapat duit. Tapi yang sekarang, I have one question to you. I cakap, you ni berhutang ke tak? Kata berhutang. Berhutang macam mana? Ada kredit card? Ada. Dah habis bayar? Belum. Mampus lah, nanti dia mati dia punya pasal lah. Okay, fine. Lepas tu, hutang rumah ada? Ada. Oh, nanti dah mati insurans boleh bayar apa? Oh, okay. Hutang orang ada? Ada juga ah. Tapi nanti dah mati saya, nanti dia maafkan lah. Kepala otak kau. That was my exact words. He said, why? Do you know that you go there, you put the bomb on your body and then you die of syahid? Of all the syahid, of all the death, orang berhutang mati syahid tak kira. Dia terus tobat on the spot, melalak, pergi toilet. Tak keluar-keluar, lama. That was the story I was sharing a few times. So, I got called by CNB, I got called by CID, I got called by ISA before. They said, what are you sharing, bro? People come in and surrender, people come in and give information. I said, yes, pasal dia berhutang. Simple je. Belum bayar nak hutang, jangan nak action hero boleh tak? The answer. You start to realize, one of the answers are, you call yourself responsible, please. You say you want to be a hero and stand in the name of Allah. Sure not? Yeah? So syahid is not even included. Now let me turn back here. It is in ayat 283 after the longest ayat of Surah Al-Baqarah is about amanah. About amanah of the obligation that we have to fulfill. When you dah berhutang, amanah kena bayar. And about what I was sharing about this syahid, today we hear from Ash'ari, he said, if somebody who passed on and he, because of syahid, and then he live again, and die again, and live again, and die again, and live again, and die again, 3 times, tapi ada hutang yang belum settle, jangan kirim salam lah nak bau surga tu semua. Okay? So, and this is the part that I would like to, I have not even entered I want to save the best for the last. And Ashari will come in, he knows what I'm talking about. The debt to Allah. Am I correct, Ashari? Did you mention zakat, fidyah, and fasting? There's one more, is it? But fidyah is because of missed fasting. What is it?
Yeah, Hajj.
Hajj. Yes, Hajj. So Hajj. How is Hajj become hutang to Allah SWT? Can you share a little bit, please?
As long as you are still alive, dia bukan hutang. Because you are still able to carry out the Hajj. But the moment you pass on without doing Hajj, there's this thing called badal haji, which is a form of hutang to Allah.
So suka tak suka dah meninggal, kalau belum buat haji, kena buat badal haji, betul? Right. Actually senang. Ladies and gentlemen, Allah SWT bilang kita in terms of zakat, fidyah, miss of fasting, and then haji. If you look at the fidyah pun sebenarnya tak berat pun. Sikit-sikit pelan-pelan pun boleh bayar. zakat pun actually kalau you continuous pay is actually very easy to pay. Okay, you can see my mouse here. I think based on the never mind, on the screen that I'm sharing here, right? So the last one is which is Hajj. So that can be settled using wasiat. So when you do a wasiat, you already can mention that if I pass on before I fulfill my Hajj, you can get somebody to help me do a badal haji. You like pesan, kasih pesanan inside your wasiat. Now, masalah dia is on the human. Because Allah SWT masih kasih can, dah meninggal, masih berhutang pun masih boleh hidup, masih boleh settle. Manusia ni, bila dia meninggal, dia ada hutang, tak settle. Selagi hutang tu tak settle. Sampailah manusia tu sendiri yang cakap, okay, aku maafkan, selesai, settle. And in that way, even dalam Al-Quran pun ada cakap, kalau orang tu memang tak berkemampuan untuk bayar balik, it is to us who actually supposed to return it as a favor or to coming back as macam memberi sebagai sedekah atau kasih time. It's okay. Okay, so very interesting. Even Al-Quran even mention to a point kalau orang tu susah nak bayar. Orang. Okay, but orang being orang, kalau dah berhutang, how many of us here, 9 out of 10 people who borrow from you tak bayar balik. And krik-krik kan terus senyap. Because that's the very painful truth. 10 people borrow from you, only one actually pay back, itu pun tak bayar balik habis. The other 9 tiba-tiba dia tak tahu mana punya ilmu dia dah pakai, ilmu gaib hilang terus. In that note, the new norm, when we talk about the new norm here, let me spotlight again, the new norm here is when it is so easy for people to disappear. Nak pinjam duit daripada orang, senang aja. Transfer, kasih bank account number. Bila suruh bayar balik, senang ke tak senang? I think COVID-19 dah jadi COVID-27, takkan bayar balik pun. Sebab bila dapat dia senang, dia dah sedap dapat, dia nak kasih balik, nak return tu susah. Bila dia dah dapat, dia dah pinjam orang, dia boleh pinjam banyak orang. Dia boleh pinjam sini, pinjam situ, boleh tak? Transfer je. Sama macam online purchase tadi, picit-picit je, titik-titik dapat. Transfer kat Siti, transfer kat aku lah, boleh apa tu, I need money. Senang nak dapat sekarang. So my point is, the minute you put it, that become a habit, it's so scary. I'm not talking about the big ticket item. That is obvious. Beli rumah, student loan, kereta, all these big ticket items. I'm talking about the small ones. The small ones will be even bigger than the big one. Because the big one got contractual obligation. Small one pakai WhatsApp, tak jalan. Small one pakai Messenger. Small one, silap-silap, canggih sikit pakai Zoom. Okay. The small ones, people borrow senang aja. Bila kasih pinjam, nak bayar balik macam mana? Tak boleh apa. Kan? You cannot come my house. Home-based business, delivery tak hantar marah. Hutang tak datang, kaya bayar balik, tak marah pula memang hari ni pedas saya cakap hari ni. It has to be mentioned. It has to be, not someone have to say it. I'm wondering, very weird. They are so angry about earning the income, but I'm wondering, anybody worried about paying back the hutang? That will lead to one other thing. Because if it is a human, it is you are hoping and praying for the person's forgiveness to lepaskan. Or you put an effort as much as you can. If you are the one who actually hutang orang, cepat-cepat bayar balik. The problem is when it is not personal. Another problem, not personal, organization. And when we talk about organization, there you go, my brother, big brother Leo over there is an expert about organization punya hutang. And we are talking about the banks who happily provide you the credit card so that you can buy more stuff online. And then they also provide personal credit. And then they also provide online application of hutang, whether is it personal loan or credit card or whatsoever, because it all to fulfill the small hutang. And when organizations are giving it to you to do all this organization to do, not the big ticket, small can be personal, but small with the organization is the big warning here. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to throw the last words straight down to my partner, who is going to talk about riba. Take it away, Ashari.
I'm back to talk about riba. So Zaid mentioned the utang provided by banks and organizations. Most of them generally have riba. And I've mentioned in the previous session a couple of weeks back about the dangers of riba. And just to recap about the severity of riba itself, in a hadith, it depends on which narration that you look at. There are 70 to 73 different kinds of riba and what it entails. And the lowest form of riba, the one which has the least sin, is more sinful than having zina of your own mother. So to have adultery with your own mother is better for you than to be engaged in riba in terms of the amount of sin that you get. And also, it is one of the only sins in the Quran where Allah and His messengers wages war upon you. It is in the ayat 278 and 279, which states that if you engage in riba and you do not repent from it, then be ready for war from Allah and His messengers. And it's the only sin in the world where it is clearly stated that Allah and His messengers will go to war with you. And then additionally also, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam curses 4 groups of people who engage in riba: the one who consumes it, the one who consume, give, records, and witness it. So 4 groups of people that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam melaknat that engages in riba. And also, additionally, there's another hadith that states that 1 dirham where you witness the giving of riba is the sin of it is worse than 36 times of zina. And we already know that zina itself is a very major sin, but it shows you how the severity of riba in comparison to all other sins out there. Back to you, Zaid.
Thank you, Ashari. You said one dirham, is it?
Yes, dirham.
1 dirham. It is actually equal to 36 times zina. Then there are 4 parts of it that has been condemned by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And they are, can you quickly share it, please, very quickly?
The one who consume, give, record, witness. Yep.
So, arak, ladies and gentlemen, is very clear cut. Arak, people know, is haram. Those who kind of very good, they not say don't have to be pious. If they ever drank before and they want to repent, one of the things that they used to be hooray kind of people. One of the sins they may have used to be before once upon a time is minum. Togok, tagak, watai, enjoy, hooray, mabuk, dah tak betul, semua gone. So one of this in arak, when I was saying about this arak, there are 7 golongan that's condemned by Allah SWT. So when we talk about arak, and we tell to people, and people start to realize, wah, consume, serve, produce, deliver, wah semua ada lah. Wah macam gini, wah ni aku minum je dah kecoh, apa lagi yang lain-lain yang kasih aku serve arak je dah problem. So that's arak, and people know that is quite clear. So when they said I nak bertaubat, dia cakap senang je, jangan minum arak. Kan, stop minum arak. It's a physical thing. Angkat, dok, dah. Stop. Whoever addicted, they can go for a consultation, or they know that they can totally stop. And I know of people who stop drinking easier than stop smoking. In fact, I know so many who can stop drinking, still smoking. So the point I'm trying to say is that is easier than riba. Why? Because we don't know that we are consuming riba or we are giving riba. Now, when I say credit card, the thing is, some people say, how do you know it's haram? Why is it haram? I buy items within 50 days, I pay back already. Tak ada interest. Tak kena interest. And dia cakap gitu. Wah, you very, very disciplined, you very good, oh. Yeah, okay. So, in the new norm, I want to see whether you can pay back within the 50 days. Because you don't buy like normal. You don't use your credit card like usual. You are online all the way. And you don't go by one app or two apps. You go by many, many apps pun. So, it's a very big unconscious, subconscious kind of purchasing. Now, with regards to paying back and you don't pay with interest, I don't give the interest back. What? That means I just pay what I use. My question to you, that card comes the money from where? Dari mana duit tu? The card that you use, you swipe, you type, you TikTok, you masuk, you purchase something. Where does the money from? Many people stuck when I ask this question. You pay what? You pay something, right? The money must come from somewhere. Right? So where? Dari mana? Tell me. The bank. Oh, the bank. I see the bank has already reserved some money to pay for your purchase, is it? Yeah. So are you the only one who hold the card? No. Maybe definitely there will be a few of other people who have the cards. Correct. So you don't pay, you pay, other people don't pay. Are you guaranteeing me everybody else also pay? Senyap lagi. So many people, they actually bought a $2,000 item. They start to pay only $100 a month. You buy it, you pay 2,000, you bayar balik 2,000, you bagus. Tapi lagi 956 ekor, tak. Okay, and you don't pay the riba. 956 orang bayar riba. Where is the fund go to? The same one you use to go and purchase. Bukan duit riba tu. So now you consume by purchasing items. Dah dapat ambil kau daripada Mr. Liu. We will send you this recording, by the way. I shared in the past topics that all the past topics we have four sessions. You attend 2 out of 4, you get all the recordings. So we have done 2 rounds. This round tak payah. You attend today, you get all 3. You attend the coming one, which is on the Tuesday by Ustazah Surina, tu lagi dia akan berbual pasal amanah, mendalam lagi. Sedap. Semua dapat recording, termasuk hari ni. I want everybody please help share. Nak trim video, can. Okay. On the Thursday, Syed Afiq, please wave your hand. Syed Afiq, he's in here. He knows I'm very fiery when I talk about this. You will hear his segment and we are going to give you the recording. So Ashraf, my teammate who is taking record on who to give the recording, conducted by Ash'ari, who is going to do the video recording, put it inside, put it on YouTube. This round of video, we share them, but we open the link. We let people see it. Senang, nothing secret already. The last one all got secrets, got strategy. Betul tak Zulfadli? You join us before kan Zulfadli? Ada strategy, ada secret, ada thing tak boleh bilang semua orang there are certain things step by step process. Tak boleh sebarang-sebarang suka-suka. So this round no, this is a message. This is a very important, deep in my heart message. I've seen people, I fall into the trap before. I know of people who cannot get out of the trap, and it is so subtle.